Hello, I'm Quique. I'm multimedia manager for World Scouting. I am from Mexico, and this is my 60-second scouter.
3, 2, 1.
So what got you into scouting?
So my family got me into scouting. My parents were scouts. My dad was a wood badge trainer, and my mom was taking the wood badge in order to be a leader for her younger siblings and her nieces. So she wanted to become scout leader. It was a new thing in her city, and my dad was the wood badge trainer, and they met like that. They became friends 6 years after they got married, and because they were scouts, they brought us into scouting.
What's the best place you've been in scouting?
Oh my God. So I've been extremely lucky to been traveling around the world with scouting and without scouting. Before working for WASOM, I actually joined a few scout troops in different countries. But at that time, I guess the furthest one from my own culture that I visited with scouting was Indonesia, when I was still a rover and I went to an international camp. And another one when it was Azerbaijan. I went to a scout camp in Azerbaijan in the mountains. That was very, very interesting. And while working with World Scouting, I think the most interesting place that I visited was South Sudan. I went to do a documentary there.
What do you enjoy doing as a multimedia manager?
Basically, I'm in charge of the photo and video production for the organization, and I coordinate the volunteers that do photo and video for different events, and then everything that you see of photo and video in the World Scouting website, in the social media stuff. Like, I do most of the things, or they go through me and I coordinate them. Favorite part is that I get to do what I love doing. So I studied communications before joining scouting as a full-time job. I used to work for a production agency, so I was doing advertising and corporate videos and all those types of things before working for scouting. And I love that I get to do that for an organization that I'm really passionate about.
What's your best memory of scouting?
Oh, best memory of scouting. I think it's the World Scout Jamboree in the UK. So I went there as a participant in 2007. I went there as a participant, and I remember it as the 10 happiest days of my life until that moment. Yeah, like every day I was just so happy. And I guess that's my favorite memory.
What's one thing nobody knows about the World Scout Bureau?
There are many cool things about the World Scout Bureau. First, many people surprisingly have no idea that the headquarters of the World Bureau are in Malaysia. Like, that's the first thing. Like, most people assume they are in the UK or somewhere in Europe, but no, they are in Malaysia since I think 7 years now. Before they were in Geneva. Another cool thing is that it's super international. I think that after Malaysia, that probably we have around 10 Malaysian colleagues. Apart from those 10, the second nationality that repeats the most probably is Canada, and I think we only have 3 Canadians. And so out of the people that we have here, everyone is from everywhere. So in the office, you're hearing different languages, meeting people from different cultures, and that's very amazing.
So what are your hobbies outside of scouts?
I love diving. That's something that I share with my partner, and we dive every time we can. Something very nice about living in Malaysia is that there's a lot of nice diving spots here, and it's very cheap compared to other places in the world. So we love diving every time I can. I also do lots of rock climbing. Yeah, so yeah, scouty outdoor activities. And I love video games.
What's your favorite campfire song?
I haven't sung in campfires for a while. Actually, I composed a couple of songs for my scout group back home. So that brings me memories, and it was really nice that I used to sing those songs for my scout group. But apart from that, there's one song that I believe it also exists in the UK, but with completely different lyrics. But in Spanish goes, oh, yo remando voy por el río mi canoa va, y en las tardes tristes por la selva voy. So I love that song as a kid. I don't know what, like, the lyrics in English, I think they are completely different, but in Spanish it is about a person rowing on a river going through the jungle.
What's one thing a scout should do before they leave scouting?
I think that if possible, doing an international experience with scouting. So spending some time with an international group or going to an international camp. It doesn't need to be the Jamboree, but maybe even like going to the country next door and like spending a weekend with a scout group from another country. It enriches you a lot.
What's the best meal you can cook?
I will say green enchiladas. So it's
Ooh.
a Mexican dish using corn tortillas, and they are completely covered in a green sauce that is made with some ingredients that are grown in Mexico, and it's very, very tasty.
What's one word to describe scouting?
Adventure.
What do you miss about Mexico?
I mean, of course, my friends and family. Mexican food. Mexico is an extremely diverse country in terms of landscapes and places to visit. And I miss that. Like in Mexico, you can drive a few hours and you are like in a pristine beach environment. If you drive another hours, you are in the jungle. Another hours and you are like forest, as if you were in the UK. A few other hours and you're in the desert. I miss that.
And what's your favorite thing about a jamboree?
The fact that that everyone belongs to the same family, that everyone is like that everyone walking in the jamboree, you can just stop them, say hello, say your name, and they are already your friends and brothers and sisters right there, because everyone is in the same mentality of like of making friendships.